On May the 4th, 1969, the Redbridge Jewish Youth and Community Centre was opened at Sinclair House, bringing together the existing youth clubs in the area. Brainchild of a devoted team, headed by the late Dr. Sidney Gold, it was the largest and most ambitious centre of its kind in Europe. 20 years later, Sinclair House is truly a community centre, with over 3,000 people passing through its doors every week to take part in scores of activities, including communal events and meetings for youth and adults. So let's see how the centre lives up to the hopes of its creators.
It's somewhere where I just want to be and spend time and socialise, and everyone's just so genuine and friendly, and I love it here, I really do.
You see a lot of people who aren't involved in any sorts of groups at all, and they end up hanging around outside the Beigel bakeries or outside other shops in Gants Hill, and they've got nothing to do except hang around outside there. And here you get an education. I've learnt so much about Jewish history and about the religion. I may not be religious, but I've got some sort of education and a background.
We believe that we're here for young people, to help young people grow and develop at the pace that they want to grow and develop. We believe that we should be giving young people a choice about what they would like to do. But we also do believe that young people should be doing things rather than just doing nothing. And I think that's really important because that does aid growth. And we have a big centre here and we're able to accommodate that.
If you get hold of the hair, and just lift it up, scrunch it up into your hands, lift it up away from the scalp, and then that should give it some more wavy, sort of typey look.
We take the view that of all the things we offer to young people in this instance, perhaps the most important, or one of the most important certainly, is the educational content. Now, we don't replace the formal education system, we don't replace the religious education system, but we are a very important addition for a number of young people that come here, certainly teenagers.
I don't think it's Germany that did this to the Jews. I think it was Nazism. I think it was Hitler's Germany at the time.
I understand what you're saying about he sees it as Germany, but I can't say that it wasn't their fault. And
various techniques are used in opening us up to these issues: video, film, a play, readings. The centre has created a lot of interest for people about Israel. Yom Ha'atzmaut Centre is it's quite a big thing. It's a big celebration, obviously, because it's Independence Day. The Shliach helps. He does a lot of work with the members at the centre in discussions and weekends away, and he helps a lot with the Israel tour. I know of a good 7 or 8 people who are planning in the immediate future to spend, a year in Israel.
We do things here within a Jewish framework, and it's important to understand what that means. That does not mean that we are imposing Judaism down people's throats. We're not doing that. We give young people a choice whether they want to participate or don't want to participate in the Jewish activities that we run here. We want people to understand that being Jewish is something very special. It doesn't mean that you're better than anybody else. It does mean that you're different. And understanding that and knowing that and the implications of that are very important.
We have to be realistic. The first point of access for a young person is probably that he or she wants to meet other young people. Young people tend not to come in and plead with us to give them education. The essential element of this is beginning where young people are. And with a whole range of facilities that are offered to young people, they include discos, sports facilities, and a variety of other programs and activities, not least of which is the social element, because they're meeting people and it is the place to go.
But whether it's these teenage inters, the 8 to 12-year-old juniors, or the 5 to 8-year-old kochavim, the youth sections are run mainly by volunteers of all ages, alongside the full-time professional youth workers.
That it can
first of all, for those of you that don't know yet...
I think Redbridge is very fortunate in both the number and the quality of its volunteers. There are roughly some 230 actual volunteers working in different aspects of the centre.
The Pesach event is planned for Sunday the 16th of April.
The structure that we have here is a revolving leadership structure. And what we encourage is that people become leaders and they put back into the section or the centre what they got out of it. And we arrange our programme accordingly. So therefore, on a Tuesday, for example, we'd have Kochavim and Inters, where the Inters members would be the Kochavim leaders, and they would do their job as a leader and stay on for club in the evening. And we have the same sort of setup for juniors and seniors, where we have senior members as junior leaders and a whole revolving thing. People go up and grow up at the same time, and that's something that is essential to the centre's future.
But does Sinclair House take on just anyone who volunteers to do youth work?
To be fair and kind to those who want to work with young people, the qualifications must be more than having the time, wanting to work with young people, wanting to be in the building. Voluntary workers require skills. We offer support and training for them to acquire those skills and experience. And we don't accept everybody's help.
I wanted to become a leader and I begged David Goldberg to let me in. And after a lot of persuasion he did, and now I'm at Inters, which I really love, which is just as much fun as being a member.
I've been doing football, which I've really sort of got into. It's really good to start building up a rapport with these kids and getting to know them, and then getting to know another leader rather than the same ones out there that are just kicking a ball out with them.
Well, it's good for experience with working with younger children and knowing that you can help someone apart from helping yourself.
I'm getting a social education out of giving young people social education, and their feedback is really amazing.
Part of this social education comes in the form of training courses to help people cope with every aspect of youth work.
We had our leadership weekend away, which brought us again closer together and made me feel able to join a section for my own age group, which is seniors.
I've learnt so much about equal opportunities and disability and how to treat them, because they're people, they're not kids or children, they are people as we are.
With the training that we're able to give them, what we've got here is a group of really committed people who are here for other people. And when people talk about this place in terms of a family, it's really true. We like being with one another, we discuss things, we get on with one another. It's a very good place to be for young people.
I'm 84. Well, I don't feel it. I feel 84 when I get home, but not in this building. I feel 21.
Daycare is one of the cheapest, most effective and humane ways of actually enabling people to stay in their own homes but enjoy all the activities of companionship, support and therapy with other people of their own age.
Everybody here is like one big happy family, and if you need a little bit of help, there's always somebody that will come over and give a helping hand, you know.
It's a place for sharing problems and different things that they have in common. It's a place of safety. It's somewhere where they can come along, meet people of their own age. We try to make the day centre an extension of the family. It could never take place of families, but we try to make an extension of the family.
By coming here, sometimes they're able to confide in several of our members, whereas they can't with their family because maybe they're too near their family. But they absolutely love this place.
Well, what I get is companionship. At least I meet people and you have a chat with them.
It's lovely. I look forward to that.
That's wonderful.
I manage twice a week.
Yes.
To come here.
Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly fly the years. One season
They feel needed, they feel loved, and we give them lots of affection. And not just the staff, but other members of the day centre.
Just to remind people about the Folkestone holiday, if you haven't already put your name down for this holiday after this meeting.
One of my favourite stories is that I was on the bus and a man got on the bus. He sat on the bus and he was terribly miserable. And on the way home, he was full of joy and happy. You know, he was really quite amazed. I said to him, what was made you so happy today? He said, what made me happy? He said, I had such a row with somebody else. It made my day. That's what it is, the centre.
They have a choice of what they want to do. They have a choice in what they want to eat. And for many old people, they haven't got the choices. The choices are taken away from them.
I love to have my hair done, look a bit decent.
We have people come in, haven't done anything for years and years, sat at home, just sitting indoors, withdrawing from themselves, and then they hear about the day centre and what things go on. I think that because they're infirm with a stroke, they've got different ailments, disabilities, that they can't do it. They come here, they partake in any activity they wish. There is something for everybody, regardless of age and infirmity.
I think because it's white, look, you've gone behind two.
We try to filter back in their history to find out exactly what they've done before and whether there is anything they wish to do that never had the chance to do. And we like to give them the chance to do something they've never done before. We've got all the special equipment for them. We've got 32 different crafts that come from the arts and crafts room, and they are taught a craft that they would like to do.
I think we can have something a bit more ornate, what do you say? This colour's quite nice, isn't it? It's quite...
That's it.
We have a large library with large print books for the partially sighted. We have tapes for the blind. We have an arthritic group, a group of 8 to 10 people. It's going from strength to strength. We have people with arthritis in the hands. Although we say we cannot improve this arthritis when we start, we say it will not deteriorate if they do the exercises.
Okay. You take your left hand and hold your wrist and circle. And this is very good if you've got arthritis in your wrists. And round and round.
In addition to physical therapy like this, the centre is helping people to form new friendships through a special group for the lonely and isolated. After only a few months of regular meetings, these people now phone each other, go shopping together, and even visit each other at weekends.
Have you made any new friends since you've been here?
Oh, look.
You have?
Look.
At least we've achieved that, haven't we?
Of course, the people who run these activities for the elderly are voluntary workers, just as in the youth sections.
Volunteers are vital to the running of this day centre. They cook all the meals in the kitchen. They do up to 100 a day for the elderly. They cook over 50 a day for the community, for Meals on Wheels for the disabled that go out from here.
They're getting a hot meal, they're getting entertainment, so they're getting as much as we can give in the conditions that we've got to provide it with.
As well as providing a good meal, lunchtime at Sinclair House is another opportunity for members to socialise, after which they often settle back for some entertainment. And the entertainment doesn't just come from visiting artists. The day centre has its own choir, which gives regular performances to packed houses.
I'm in the choir, I'm in the show. I love dancing, I love singing.
I'd hate to think what would happen to our plans for the future if there was no Redbridge Jewish Youth and Community Day Centre. it would dramatically affect the needs of many thousands of old people.
And very young ones. The centre's playgroup meets 5 days a week, giving children their very first taste of community life. Organising this, together with all the other Sinclair House facilities, must be a major financial and logistical operation. So how is it done?
Essentially, what we're doing here is we're running a business. We need to be business-like. The difference between us and other organisations, commercial organisations, is that our business is the care of people, the care of elderly people, the education of the young, and there are clear differences in terms of output as far as that's concerned, but not in terms of policy or structure, and not in terms of seriousness.
We've still got over 50 waiting, and every day if you look in the main desk diaries, people ringing up, when can you come and get my elderly father who's had a stroke, when can you come and pick my mother up?
And they're so upset.
We're accountable to, first and foremost, the clients, the members, the elderly people, our funders, the local authority, the community in general. The breadth of what we do, the amount we spend, the number of people employed, mean that behind the scenes, certainly, it's a fairly business-like fashion. The facilities need to be maintained to a higher standard. Elderly people must feel comfortable, warm, the atmosphere must be friendly, and I think the same holds good for young people. Both areas of work share the same facilities. It gets to the point where the building is in use 7 days a week, normally till 11 o'clock in the evening, and maintenance and cleaning becomes quite a logistical operation. Apart from the work we do, the facilities are the most valuable asset, and our responsibility is to maintain those well for the work that goes on now and for future generations. That can be expensive, but it's worth it, and we've managed to maintain the building to a fairly high standard, fortunately. But it's a 7-day-week operation.
The centre is in fact unique. It's now 20 years old, which is the reason we're having our 20th anniversary fundraising drive to raise £1 million in order to allow the community centre to continue to cater for the community as it has done in the past. Many people will know that the centre had problems in the past. Mercifully, these problems have now been overcome basically by work within the local community. We have in fact now reached financial stability, but the centre still does cost us £300,000 a year to run. Of this, 90% is funded locally, 25% from the local council, for which we are very grateful, and 65% from either the users or from donations from the local community. And unfortunately, only 10% comes from outside, from the whole of Anglo Jewry. And I find this particularly sad when one considers that this centre serves an area of 12% of the entire Jewish community in Great Britain and 14% of the Jewish community of London.
And therefore we have to look not just to the local community, but to Jews in the Greater London area, to get them to understand the prime importance of a centre of this side as far as Greater London Jewry is concerned, and to get them to help to finance on a proper basis the future of this centre.
I lost 2 loved ones in 10 years, and I crawled on the wall many times. I couldn't live without coming here.
This centre, to me, at this moment is my life, really.
The carers are so kind.
I would say it's my life really now.
If the club wasn't here, I wouldn't know what to do. I'd probably be just going around the streets, hanging about. I'd love to just get the whole world to come to Sinclair House because it's just the best place. It's just amazing.